Zoe Deutch is quickly becoming one of my favorite actresses working today. Not Okay is the newest Hulu original film that stars Zoe Deutch, Dylan O'Brien, and Mia Isaac. An ambitious young woman finds followers and fame when she poses as a survivor of a deadly attack, but she soon learns that online notoriety comes with a terrible price. This movie kind of snuck up on me because it wasn't really on my radar. I had heard of it, but I wasn't necessarily looking forward to it all too much. But because, like I mentioned, Zoe Deutch is quickly becoming one of my favorite actresses working today. She is so damn talented, and she's leading this movie, so that got me interested alone. Plus, I had heard some good things, and when I was able to check this movie out early, I figured, let's give it a shot, and this movie kind of took me by surprise. One of the biggest reasons why I was so surprised by this movie is the story it's trying to tell and the plot and how things play out. Because I remember watching the trailer for this movie, but I don't remember much about it. And then when the plot starts to kick in, I was like, oh damn, this is gonna get dark. Now I would suggest going to this movie as blind as possible because then you will be in for a ride. It definitely takes a little bit of getting used to the very out there tone. Half of the movie is very meta. It's a social commentary, commenting on social media and our society and how we interact with individuals. Then you get to the other half of the tone, which is pretty dark, but you can't help but laugh at times because of how accurate but also pretty dumb, but dumb in a good way this movie is. It's dumb in a smart way. It's commenting on our society with sharp writing. And another great thing about this movie is the cast, led by Zoe Deutch, who is superb. She does a great job of giving off this performance with a character that you don't really like. Her character makes dumb decisions, and it's decisions that are hard to get behind, but she brings a sort of innocence to the role that can kind of make you see through her performance and you can feel for her character. And right next to her is Mia Isaac, who has had a pretty big year for herself. This is the second time that I've seen her this year in a movie, the first one being Don't Make Me Go, which is a movie that I do not recommend, but her performance in that movie was pretty good. And here she has some very profound monologues that she delivers very well. You kind of feel yourself just getting sucked into the movie. She's a fairly young actress too, and how she can command the screen is pretty impressive. But Dylan O'Brien, who very much so is the comic relief of the movie, he has some funny lines, and he is a pretty funny actor. I think he gives a good performance as this stoner that kind of reminds you a little bit of Justin Bieber. I think if you watch the movie, you'll get what I mean by that, or maybe you won't. And him and Zoe Deutch have good chemistry with one another. And the movie is fairly on the nose. That is something that you will need to get warmed up to. But you honestly might not like the movie at all because of how on the nose it is, and I can see that. If you told me that you didn't like it, you thought it was heavy-handed for whatever reason, I didn't personally think that, but I can see how audiences can think that. It's on the nose with how it describes society and specific characters and specific dialogue. I thought they put it off in a smart way, but I can see how it could get annoying. You can find yourself not really enjoying it. And this movie started to grow on me the more I watched it, the more I got into it, especially in the second and third act. The first act is very much so finding its footing. It just starts off as a comedy, but then turns into a dramedy. Another thing I have to say is it tiptoes around not crossing that line because, like I mentioned, it tells a dark story. It tiptoes around not crossing that line of making fun of a very sensitive topic that in our society feels very prevalent. And that's where I get into my negatives with the movie because I do think it has a hard time balancing tones. I found myself laughing pretty hard at one scene, but then feeling totally out of it the next scene because it takes a quick turn. Even when the plot starts to kick in about 20 minutes in, I was like, damn. And it can feel inconsistent because there is a big chunk of this movie that's going to take some getting used to. I did feel like that it was a little too long as well. Some scenes were dragged out, and then the ending feels very abrupt. I feel like we had a little bit more to do. If you can put the inconsistent tone aside, I think you might be pretty swept up in this movie. With its sharp and smart commentary on social media, our society, you'll find yourself laughing at times, but you also might find yourself feeling pretty emotional because of how profound some of the monologues are. The performances are absolutely stellar. I love Zoe Deutch. It felt very reminiscent of Ingrid Goes West, so I feel like if you're a fan of that movie, you'll enjoy this one too. And I do think it is worth a watch, and I enjoyed this one. I'm gonna give Not Okay a B-. Again, I was a little iffy on the movie, but then it started to grow on me over time, so just give this movie a chance. But if you have seen Not Okay, let me know your thoughts on it down below in the comment section, and if you're looking forward to it, let me know down below. But thank you so much for watching this video, and if you did enjoy it, consider giving it a like as well as subscribing and hitting that notification bell to get notified whenever new videos like this go live. As always, look forward to a bunch more videos coming soon. My name is Ben, people call me Meter, and I'll see you guys in the next one.